Mukoma wako uchamuponda, uchimupondera nyaya yebato. Mukoma wako uchamuponda wano, uchimupondera nyaya yenyika. Hanzvadzi yako wakairova, uchirovera nyaya yebato. Sisi wako wakavarova, uchivarovera nyaya yebato. Baba wakavatsinga, uchivatsingira nyaya yebato. Mwana wako wakamutuka, uchimutukira nyaya yenyika. Ndiyo ere Zimbabwe, 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 ndiyo ere Zimbabwe. Bazaro makadzikisa, muchidzidzisira nyaya yebato. Chikafu munovanyima, muchivanyimira nyaya yebato. Minda yavo makaitora, muchiitorera nyaya yebato. Ndiyo ere Zimbabwe, ndiyo ere Zimbabwe, ndiyo ere Zimbabwe, ndiyo ere Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, 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 mukoma wako wakamuponda, uchimupondera nyaya yebato. Mukoma wako uchamurova.
Good evening, viewers from all over the world, wherever you may be. Ndiyo ere Zimbabwe, ndiyo ere Zimbabwe yedu yatinayo, ndiyo ere Zimbabwe yatiri kuda. Where brothers are killing brothers, sons are beating up their mothers, daughters are dying, and mothers are not standing up for them. Very sad indeed. Welcome to this program, this edition of News Review, where we take a look at the topics that made the headlines on Change Radio News over the past week. Today I'm not alone. I'm with two lady champions, Lady Champion Estella and Loveness. Can you kindly greet the viewers?
Thank you very much.
Okay, Leader Loveness, can you go ahead?
Thank you, Leader Sophie. Thank you very much, viewers and listeners, for joining us on this program, News Review. Thank you for following us. My name is Loveness Kotora here in Johannesburg. I would like to welcome you all on this program, and thank you very much, Leader Sophie.
Thank you so much, Leader Loveness. Leader Estella, can you greet the viewers?
Yes, thank you so much, Leader Sophia, and a warm welcome to this week's episode of News Review to all our viewers and listeners joining us from our Change Radio Facebook page, YouTube page, from Shepherd Yuda's Facebook page, and from Change Radio's internet radio station. As usual, we have an exciting lineup of stories for you, and do stay with us. I'll just hand over back to you, Champion Sophia.
Thank you so much. Yes, and as Leader Estella rightfully says, we have a wide array of topics for you today, of incidents that were happening that concern Zimbabwe, from within Zimbabwe and outside Zimbabwe. But let's not take much of your time. Let's jump straight into it. Our first story, a very sad story indeed, where we'll be talking about the grade 7 pupil, a young girl who died whilst giving birth at the hands of the Apostolic sect. Leader Stella, can you dissect that for us, please?
Yes, thank you once again, Champion Sophia. It is very sad that we have to once again review a story like this, where a minor, a young girl, loses her life at the hands of a people who claim to be worshippers of the one true living God, who claim to be keepers of his law. And it is said that we have not seen any consequences that were visited on those who were responsible for the death of the first young girl who passed away during childbirth last year. I'm sure you all remember that incident. It was tragic. There was a media frenzy around it, and politicians vowed to do something about it. But as is the case with everything to do with Zanu PF, all their promises end with mere words. As a result, we are in this place again discussing the death of a young girl at the hands of the Apostolic Faith Church. And most of you will remember that this is a church that has openly aligned with the current president, Emerson Mnangagwa, and the current ruling Zanu PF. We have seen videos of members of the Apostolic Faith pretty much preaching Idi Mnangagwa in church, singing songs that praise and literally worship Idi Mnangagwa. Ndosaka tatanga ni song inofunza kuti ndiyo here Zimbabwe yacho, ndiyo here Zimbabwe yakarwirwa, yakafirwa nemaheroes edu, kuti tizoita life yakadai yekuti vanasikana vanofanira kunge vari kuchikoro, vari kudzidza kugadzirira remangwana ravo, vasati vaakugona kana kuzvichengeta. Mwana ari grade 7 anenge achiri kutodzidza kuzvichengeta, asi kune chechi inobvumirwa kumutora mwana iyeye yomuita mukadzi. Ndo Zimbabwe yatiinayo nhasi. But fortunately next year tine ma-elections. It's our opportunity to do something about this, because this is just one of many problems that tora lives ema-Zimbabweans. Your daughter might not have lost her life during childbirth, but I'm convinced the mismanagement, misrule of Zanu PF has affected every one of us in one way or another. Each one of us has lost a loved one unnecessarily, simply due to the corruption, the lack of rule of law, and terror visited on Zimbabweans by Zanu PF. Saka, I really hope that next year shungu dzese dzatinadzo nezvese zvataexperiensa, especially in the last 5 years, tichaenda nadzo shungu idzodzo kunovhota, and tavhota, we will stay and defend our vote. Nekuti tikasadaro, then we are facing another 5 years of not the same, but even worse. Thank you so much, Leader Sophia, for allowing me to express a few sentiments on this topic.
No, thank you so much, Leader Estella, for that, heartfelt presentation on the girl child and the way they are treated as they are lesser citizens of Zimbabwe. That should actually be providing everyone, making sure that everyone's lives is living a life of dignity, and bringing about, also reminding us about Memory, who also passed away at the hands of the Apostolic, this sect that shows so much support to Emerson Mnangagwa and his illegitimate government. We see a repeat of events where young girls are taken as wives. They should not be wives. They should be in school. They should be growing up. And yet they keep on taking them as wives. And we see this being repeated, where these girls are made into wives and they get pregnant and they die, and whilst giving birth at these shrines. And the government, because it doesn't care about its citizens, they do nothing about it. I mean, it's just spoken about, but no one really gets punished for this. And so a stop is it's kind of difficult to believe that a stop to this evil practice will be made. I don't know, Leader Loveness, do you have anything you want to add to that about Memory Muchaya and also now little Nokutenda, who has died at the hands of these Apostolic sect members?
Yes, Leader Sophie. My heart bleeds because of the girl child, which what can I say, the rights of a girl child which are being abused in Zimbabwe. I remember some time in Chinoi, I stay in Chinoi when I'm in Zim. There was a lady again who passed on while giving birth in the house, just because they say at our church we don't go to the hospital, and then there were complications. They tried to do something like, I don't know whether they were operating or what, then they ended up pulling out the kidneys, and then afa. So I don't know if it's Satanism in those churches or what, because they don't realize that they are abusing these kids. It's something that is so sad. And I don't know kuti vanenge vakapindwa nechechi zvakaita sei zvokuti vakabvumidza mwana wavo, mwana ari grade 7, I think 13 years guys, kuti vamubvumidze kuti aende kunonzi agara nababa. And I'm sure ana baba ivavo vanotora those little girls madhara, not vanhu vezera ravo, madhara chaivo vari kwabvisa vanhu. So I don't know, this Zimbabwe it's something that is traumatizing to the girl child. We're just hoping that next year all this trauma will just go away.
Absolutely, Leader Loveness, absolutely. We have faith and we have hope that come 2023, a new great Zimbabwe will be ushered in, and all of this will be a thing of the past. We can look at it as if they are the pangs of birth. And there's little Nokutenda there. I mean, how does someone think to make a little girl like this and turn her into a wife? I don't think, you've got to be thinking like a normal adult. how do you even look at this child as a wife? It's very evil, and really a stop has got to be made. A stop has got to be put to this. This has got to be put to a stop. But from us at Change Radio, we do say rest in peace, little girl, and we do hope that you are out of pain, and we our prayers, our concerns, our hearts go out to you. Our hearts bleed, like Leader Loveness said, and we hope that no more young girls will fall victim to the pain and the suffering that you went through. Right. Going ahead, I would like maybe before we go ahead, if Chief Sose, if you could greet the viewers, and then you could give us a brief of the story that was happening in the States this past week.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, everyone here. Murie Zimbabwe, yakateerera makadi saribonani. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, I'm still on my way from Dallas, Texas, where I had traveled to meet with our change champion, Advocate Mahere, our interim spokesperson. And I must say, she blew, everyone apart by her presentation. She was presenting at one of America's prestigious universities, SMU, Southern Methodist University. It's one of those Ivy League universities. And she, was presenting something on Zimbabwe. And, the way that she just articulated topical issues in Zimbabwe, she touched on Gukura Hundi, she touched on the issue of political prisoners, even the problematic, land question. She just tackled it. I know that she had not been given questions ahead of time, because what she did was she presented for 15 minutes, and then the other 1 hour, 15 minutes, she was being grilled, by a non-partisan person whom I even thought was Zanu PF, but of course she wasn't Zanu PF. But she just was just, railing into her. But she handled herself very well, articulated answers, and in the process also managed to put across Triple C's position on most of the issues going on. Clearly, showing Zimbabweans that were there, Americans that were there, other Africans that were there, that Triple C is the only game in town in Zimbabwe. There was no doubt after a presentation that President Nelson Chamisa is surrounded by smart people. He's surrounded by a smart team, and that Triple C was indeed the alternative, a government in waiting. And I don't think there was any doubt among the people that were there that this is a government that is going to change people's lives in Zimbabwe. She just articulated the policies of Triple C. She even talked about the economy, even though she's not an economist. She talked about what President Chamisa is going to do, what a Triple C government is going to do, and that just shows you that we have policies, because she wasn't getting it from nowhere. It means the party has a policy bank, has a plan that it's going to implement when we come in 2023. It was just amazing. And the feedback that we got from citizens, it was just confirmation of what is in store for Zimbabweans in 2023 when Advocate Nelson Chamisa comes in. It was like a teaser of what's going to come. And after a presentation, after the question and answer session, she still had time to interact with people. I think she spent about 30 minutes after the event. So 2 hours of the actual event, the presentation, and the Q&E. And then after that, she was now interacting with citizens, listening to them, talking to them, taking pictures. And she didn't go back to her hotel immediately after that, because we went into another meeting with her as CCC citizens in Dallas, Texas. You know, she kind of like addressed the Dallas branch executive, although, you know, of course, it's not the executive because nobody has a position. We don't have a branch. We have an interim, leadership in Dallas. So she did sit down with that interim leadership, and now we were talking intimately about her party programs. She touched on Mugwazo and announced that Mugwazo was the flagship program for the party. You know, of course, without going into too many details, but she did, make the people that were there, the citizens that were there, understand what Mugwazo is all about, which is something that we have always wanted as a province, that we need people from Zimbabwe that are on the ground, that are doing Mugwazo, to just come and talk about Mugwazo. I know Wachibaya was here. He did talk about that very widely. But to see someone like Fadzai Maere articulating Mugwazo, it was awesome, you know. And, people were just generally happy. And I just want to take time to thank her for what she did, you know, to us as a province. Yeah, it was a great opportunity. She left everyone galvanized, people happy, people wanting to do more for the party, because the presentation just encouraged people, you know, to want to do more.
Well, all we can say from us is a big congratulations and a big thank you to the North American province under your leadership, Mambo Sose, for making this into a successful event. And as you rightly say, that a lot of information was given and people learned about Mugwazo and what was happening on the ground in Zimbabwe. For this opportunity, I think it was a good opportunity for the NAP, and also for us now as we are learning and hearing from you. So thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Yes.
right. Okay, right, going into our next topic, almost similar to what was in the NAP in South Africa, Leader Loveness, can you take us through the recent black tie event, the dinner that was hosted by the CCC in Johannesburg?
Okay, thank you, Champion. Last week on a Sunday, CCC here in South Africa held a dinner. It was a fundraising dinner. Chairman Trust, the chairman for South African province was there, and the guest of honor, who was Champion Ostelos Sisiva, was there as well. The fundraising dinner went well. It was very exciting. It was such a short notice payaka announcement. Zvokuti paitarisirwa vanhu, something like 25 people. But to a surprise, pakazopedzisira pava nevanhu more than 50. Pakatozobuda mari yakawanda kudarika yaitarisirwa. So how it happened, it was like there were 4 tables. The cheapest table were 350 rands. The following yacho were 1.250. The following yacho were 2,000, and the biggest table, the most expensive one, the one Yama VIP is for 5,000. So munhu aipinda pagate achibhadhara mari yake achibva anyoresa over apinda. So everyone who went inside paid at the gate, and then there were some activities akazoitwa mukati pakazotanga program. Panga paine auctions anga aripo. There were heads, my heads anga akasainwa na president anga aine logo yeCCC. Panga paine tie, that tie yanga iri ya president. So yakauya ikaiswa pa auction, and there were some pens again. So zvinhu zvese zvakangofamba like unexpectedly. The cheapest pen yakatengwa ne300 rands. Pen yakatengwa nemari yepamusoro. I'm sure it was a pen yakatengwa ne2,000 rands. And then my heads, the expensive head yakatengwa ne something like 3,000. And then chinhu chakanyanyodhura panga paine portrait represident. That portrait yakadhura, and the tie yakatengwa ne 3,000. Portrait, if I'm not mistaken, it was 10,000. Munhu akatenga portrait akatenga ne 10,000. So hazvina kungotenga kuti tongonzi munhu portrait rakutoenda ne 10,000. One chinhu chaitoita mari dzakawanda dzeitodarika kuti munhu woti ndoda kutenga tai ine 500. Mumwe uyo wobva ati tai haingaendi ne 500. I'm buying it with 1.5. Mumwe wobva ati no, hazviiti. Tai yepresident itengwe ne 1.5 hazviiti. I'm buying it with 3,000. So ndo mafambira zvengu, even pamapeni anga akawanda. So zvakangofamba zvakadaro, mari yakatozobuda yakawanda, but hatisati tava nefeedback kuti tinzoti imari exactly. Hatisati tava the exact figure, but the program went very well.
Wow, that sounds like it was an amazing success, because it sounds like you were outbidding each other. And a big congratulations, very well done to Team South Africa under the able leadership of Chairman Trust Ndlovu. Thank you so much. I think there's a photo somewhere with the portrait that you're talking about, that it was the highest item to go with the highest bid there. I think we'll show it later on. But well done, Team South Africa. Thank you, Leader Loveness, for representing us. Yes, Chief.
Jump in on that. Yeah, South Africa did very well. We appreciate them. And you know what, they were actually fundraising for the communications department. The department is trying to set up a communication center. You know, as we go towards 2023, we are going to need our own forms of communication. As you know, Zanu PF has ZTV, or Dead TV, as Sophie would want to call it. And they also have ZBC, or Dead Broadcasting Corporation, whatever. So we only have Change Radio, and we have social media. So the department is just trying to buy equipment, buy laptops, buy phones, so that they can set up a communication center that will be giving out information to the people. Information is key in any campaign. In fact, these days they say information is the new money. When you have information, you have money. So Advocate Mayere did speak about that as well at when she was addressing the Texas branch. And guess what? The Texas branch, impromptu just asked members to donate, and we raised $1,000, for the department, just in those few minutes. So, and we just want to encourage everyone. We are even now talking to other branches to also come in and support the communications department. Citizens listening can also find a way of supporting. Reach out to us, reach out to the communications department, and just donate something so that they can, be equipped as we go towards the elections.
Wow, yes, it sounds like it's all gelling and coming across nicely. Everyone is doing something. Everyone wants to be a part of the change. Everyone wants to be a part of the new Great Zimbabwe. And it looks like it's coming along nicely. Thank you there so much, Team NAP, Team South Africa. I'm sure the other provinces are hearing, and they'll be jumping onto the train as well.
Sophie, sorry to... I must give credit to the citizens that organized this. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble, big trouble.
Okay.
North America did not organize this event. We supported progressive citizens here in North America that came up with that idea, that organized the trip for Advocate Mahere. And we came in, the good thing about those citizens is they communicated, we spoke, and they spoke to us about what they were trying to do. And they said, let's work together. This is for the good of the party, the good of Zimbabwe. And we mobilized our members. We came in and advertised the event and encouraged members to attend. And it was all yellow in Dallas, Texas. But I want to thank one citizen in Dallas, Texas, who organized the whole thing. She's called Uke. She's a young Zimbabwean businesswoman based in Dallas. And, you know, I was amazed at the way she organized it, you know, talking to the university. She went to that university. She has maintained a good relationship with them. So we want to say thank you to Bouquet and their team and also to SMU University.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Citizen Bouquet. We appreciate the hard work and you know, the effort that you put in to making sure this was a success. These are pictures from the Black Tie event dinner in Johannesburg that Leader Loveness was talking about. One of the hats that were auctioned, I'm sure. And there's Deputy Secretary for Communications, the Interim Deputy Secretary for Communications, Champion Ostalo Siziba, with our very own Loveness Kanjiba. And there are more pictures of the guests that were at the dinner. It looked like everyone was having a really good time. And there is the portrait, the portrait that was the highest bidded item on the evening. A very beautiful portrait. Do you know who made that portrait? We don't know, but we must find out. And because it came out lovely. It came out very nicely. It's a very likeness of the president there. Whoever did that did a good job.
I don't know who made this one, but I have someone. There is a child who made another very nice portrait. I'll give you the details for that child.
Okay. Yeah, wonderful. It would be nice to talk to them and see what else they have done. You know, it's quite interesting that they have done. But on the same note, we understand there was a video that was celebrated, a new video and a new song that came out from Leader Loveness, yourself, Leader Loveness Kanjiwa. I think if we could just have a small taster, then maybe we could play the whole song at the end. I don't know our admin in the background if the video is there. If you can just see a little taster of it, and then we can play the whole video at the end. Maybe while they're looking for the video. Mm-hmm.
It's downloading.
Downloading. Okay, maybe while it's downloading, Leader Loveness can tell us what was going through your mind and your heart when you were writing this song.
Okay, thank you, Leader Sophie. What happened is, you know, when I write my song, when I sing, I don't write my songs. I just do. So it's like I just ask my producer what I got the beat. After I got the beat, then I'm studio record. I don't write my songs. So no, this Zimbabwe is not even good, and so we will keep on suffering. I'm tired of being a foreigner. I don't even like to be called anymore. I want my country to be fixed. So the song is called Tsunami. Some people were asking, could the tsunami is not away? So I will explain like this. Tsunami is something like upside down. So abachandira kuti tsunami is Zanu PF ndo iri kufanira kusunama. Magariro ayakaita Zanu PF iri mu that comfort zone. That comfort zone must come to an end. Things must turn around. Ngazvi tsunami. Then we get what we want. Topinda mu change yatiri kuchemera each and every day. So zvinhu zvinofana kusunama for Zanu PF. For those people who believe in Zanu PF all along, those people who lost hope, Zimbabwe vanoti hativhoti tinovhoterei because tagara tinongobirirwa, they must make it kuti zvisuname for Zanu PF. This time they must vote kuti change ivepo kuti zvinhu zvisunamire Zanu PF. That's where I was trying to go kuti zvinhu zvisunamire Zanu PF ndo pane zita rokuti sunamai kuti tipinde muchange like ndakaimba ndichiti sunamai gore richipera sunamai vanhu vachivhota topinda muyelo and so on tichitoenda tozosvika kwatinozotamba haikona kutaura Jehovah George vanhu vachikokawo makumbo vachitamba but the main thing, the main agenda ndeyekuti zvinhu zvisunamire Zanu PF vanhu if we stand together zvinhu zvinotosunama and then topinda muchange yatagara tiri kuchemera all along.
So true. I think we have the video ready. If we can just have a snippet and then we'll play the whole video at the end. Irikuya?
Is it audible?
Yes. Inenge yatitiza futhi yanga yachiplaya but inenge yatiza.
Oh, let me restart it. Video, okay. Ingori picture, still image.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think so, but it's okay. Maybe we can try kutitoi sorta, then we can play it at the end. Ingori cheroiri audio, it's okay, it's fine. We can play the audio. Then the listeners can have a taster of the many talents, one of the many talents of Leader Loveness, and this important message that she's trying to get across to all of us. Kuti Zanu PF, like what he said, things must sunama. Sunungashi tsunami. Okay, right. Twende lamberi nechirongwa chedu. This last week as well, on the news of Change Radio, Taka report one of the biggest stalwarts of the CCC, vakabva nemusangano kubva kure vakatisiya. But I want to believe that it was a celebration of the life of Mudhara Bhuranda. Vakatisiya vakavigwa kubikita, and we had many cadres who went to celebrate the life of Mudhara Bhuranda, including President Chamisa, who gave, a moving speech and a moving tribute to Mudhara Bhuranda. And, tekaona a lot of images of the president actually going in, vachita farewell, this cadre, even kuto vachifushira, there is the president sitting amongst the mourners, vachi follow my proceedings. And then he actually went on to help kufushira, pamakuva, and just a testimony of the president kuti, munhu akaita se munhu akabva kuvanhu. He is a person who remembers kuti vanhu vanobvepi, vanhu vakaita sei, and because he understands that, he will know very much kuti vanhu, what do the people need, and what can bring dignity into the lives of all Zimbabweans. I think today a small clip of Mudhara Bhuranda nebasa ravaita musangano. Kana paine ka video ikako, I think our viewers would like to see and know who Mudhara was and understand why he was so important to the movement. I think maybe Mambo Sose, if you want to say a few words about Mudhara while the video is being sorted out.
Yes, yeah, this is one of the, unsung heroes of our struggle. We have people that are prominent, people that are known, people that are, people always talk about. And then there are people that do the work on the ground, the foot soldiers. Mudhara B was one of those. And I just want to appreciate, excuse me, I just want to appreciate President Chamisa for going down to the grassroots, people that are on the ground, and appreciating and recognizing the work that they do. What this does is it encourages, galvanizes people that are on the ground. They know that even if they don't have big positions in the party recognizes them. and more still, the president recognizes them. We have had issues with Zanu PF accusing us of neglecting some of our leaders. They try to push narrative that President Chamisa, CCC is ignoring its own people, but this justifies and clears, that part of Zanu PF's lies. Nobody is being ignored. We are doing the best. The party is doing the best for all its cadres. Of course, we are limited with what we can do. We are limited with resources. In as far as Honorable Job Sikhala, Honorable Stole, and other people are concerned, the party is doing its best. If you hear anyone who is saying that the party is not doing what it is supposed to be doing, there are Zanu PF people that are just trying to cause discontent and division within the party. But genuine people know that the party does what it can, to the best of its ability. And President Chamisa going down Kumaruzeva, if you listened to his speech and even when he was singing, you could tell that this is a president who has great connection with the ordinary people, ordinary folks in Zimbabwe. And that's a president that we need right now. A person who cares about the people, not just the people that he knows or the people that are prominent or the people that are well known, but everyone, including people like Mudhara B.
Absolutely, absolutely. Every single Zimbabwean lives matter. Every single Zimbabwean, no matter who you are or where you are in life, as a Zimbabwean, your life should matter. And we are very grateful and we're blessed to have a president who recognizes and who understands that every single life matters of every Zimbabwean. And I don't know if we have that video of Mudhara B ready. It would be nice to show the viewers what he was all about and the vibe that he brought to the movement.
Yes, it's ready.
Thank you.
Uyo mazingo gutu tikita nezaka uchitamburire isu vezano vokuraya vatangire kutambura kwako kutambura kwako
There he was, the man with the golden voice and drum playing abilities, who had the talent, the gift to have everyone swaying and singing along to revolutionary songs. You will be missed, Mudhara B. Tinoti famba izvakanaka muzorore murugare. Right, tichienda mberi, I just want to talk, I'll ask Chief as well as Leader Loveness, just to talk about the video that was trending this week. The fake pastor, fake prophet Makandiwa, going onto the pulpit and preaching the gospel of half corruption. What do you have to say? I mean, I take it to you to Chief, dissect that for us. And then maybe if we can have the video after Chief has spoken, and then Leader Loveness can also give us 2 thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm one person who has always tried to stay away from criticizing men of God. And I have a certain relationship and respect of men of God, because I know, they have a role that they play, and I just respect them. But what Makandiwa did, I just lost my respect, and I couldn't understand why a person who has gotten himself to that level is still trying to please Zanu PF, and hero worship Zanu PF, protect Zanu PF, when he has a congregation that is suffering because of Zanu PF. And he knows what Zanu PF has done. And for him to come out and talk about corruption in that manner. When corruption has brought this country to its knees, when corruption is the one that is responsible for everything bad that is happening in Zimbabwe, the level of corruption in Zimbabwe, especially from senior Zanu PF leaders, and in particular, the first family itself, Emerson Mnangagwa being the ringleader, his children, his sons, the twins, the wife, Auxilia herself, the whole family stinks with corruption. The whole family is involved in illicit deals one way or another. They are everywhere, in mining, in agriculture, in our land. They get commissions, they get percentages of whatever the investors are bringing in. This is mafia that we have in Zimbabwe. We are losing billions of dollars through corruption. People are suffering in Zimbabwe because of corruption. We don't have jobs in Zimbabwe, not because of anything, not because of our sanctions, as Zanu PF would want us to believe. It's because of our corruption. And then you have a whole pastor of a church, a church that is followed by many Zimbabweans that are, living under or below the poverty datum line. For him to speak like that, it's despicable. And I think it's time that Zimbabweans, learn to just call a spade, a spade. And because right now I'm referring to people that go to Makandiwa's church. This is not finger pointing. We are not doing anything here against Makandiwa. We are just exercising our rights as Zimbabwe to criticize, to express our opinion that did is not gratify Zanu PF like that. I know he needs protection because maybe himself is corrupt. So Zanu PF, that's what they do. If they know that you are corrupt, vanokuita ngepinjis, vanokubata so. And if you don't do what they want you to do, they will, expose you. They will threaten you with exposure. So maybe that's what Makandiwa is doing. But either way, it is wrong. Ita mapasta ngaite zvekunamata. Anamatire church, anamatire vanhu, anamatire nyika. But kana vakuenda kunyaya dzepolitics, who attack them, because they've got into areas that are not theirs. They don't belong there. And when you try to, undo what the people are trying to do, we are trying to stop corruption. We are fighting Zanu PF so that we have a government that respects people, that is not corrupt, but we have someone who is praising them. Kuti ukaba mbijana, zviri nani, pane kuti ube mari yese. What is that? It's despicable. And I'm sorry to the people that follow Makandiwa, but they should call him out. He is a human being. When he has done wrong, he has done wrong. People should learn to do that. We are here where we are because Zimbabweans, we give too much respect to people that are in authority. We fear to tell them the truth. We don't tell them what they are supposed to be hearing. We tell them what they want to hear. And even if it is wrong, that they are doing good. And when they do wrong, they don't tell them that they've done wrong. I live in a country where there is liberty, where there is freedom of speech, where there is freedom of expression. Biden anoudzwa kunzi apa waita zvokupenga panapa. Izvi ndezveumbwa zvawaita izvi. Vanotomuudza and they will be using F words. They just tell him as it is. And that's okay. Someone should not feel that they are being criticized and then they think that people don't want him. We love Makandiwa. We want him. We want him to continue doing the work that he's doing. But he must call a spade a spade. Where something is wrong, that is being done either by CCC or by Zanu, he should come out criticizing. He can't praise Zanu PF on corruption. That's nonsense.
It is very much nonsense. Do we have that video already so the viewers can see, if they haven't had a chance to see that, where you were saying half corruption is better than full corruption? I mean, it's actually surprising as a man of God who is standing on the pulpit, how do you tell your congregants that half a sin is better than a full-blown sin. I mean, when Moses came down from the mountain with the 10 commandments, did they say half stealing is better than full stealing? Half murder is better than... I don't understand. I mean, if we have a video, they can see what we are talking about and why Chief is so outraged by this all.
Yes, it's ready. Let me play it.
Thank you.
Kune vamwe venyama munzwisise ukanzwa ndataura vamwe vanonzwa zvisina kutaurwa.
Some of you misunderstand. They hear what has not been said.
Ipapo unenge wanzwa sendati here hakuna corruption iri kuitika. Ndo zvaunenge wanzwa.
Did I say there's no corruption happening? Is that what I said?
Indava uchinzwa zvinhu iwewe.
Why are you good at misinterpreting things?
Corruption ine zviro.
Corruption has certain different levels.
Corruption ine zviro.
It has different levels.
Kune zviro zvokuti pakave ne 10 billion.
There are certain dimensions that if there is 10 billion,
ikanzi 10 billion iri kunogadzira mugwagwa.
And the 10 billion is set aside to construct roads.
5 ikarohwa.
And 5 is swindled.
5 ikagadzira mugwagwa.
And the other 5 constructs the road.
Corruption asi corruption iyo yakasiyana necorruption.
Corruption
nekuti yaigona kurohwa yese 10 yakadi.
Because the entire 10 billion would have been stolen.
Man, Leader Loveness, what do you think?
Ndotoshaura kuti chivindi chacho chokuti amire pamberi pecongregation achivaparidzira zvinhu zvakadaro ari kumbochiwana kupi. Murume mukuru anotaura kuti corruption ine malevels. How can that be? Corruption is corruption. Kutadza. Hazvina basa kuti watadza kanhu kadiki diki, but hero is hero. Inongotora vanhu vese vanenge vakatadza, whether wakatadza kadiki kana kuti wakatadza zviombi. Kutadza. Same as corruption. Corruption is corruption. Plus, I think this issue yokuti Mnangagwa anopinda mumachurches achiita ezifa ari kuita mugood Samaritan achitsvaga kuda kusvikadza. He is manipulating those pastors. And mapastors why vari kuvhuma manipulate vanhu vakaita sedhis Makandiwa ana Passion Java vakatomanipulate vakatozvitambira. Yazvinozvo vakutongopoliticize zvinhu zvechechi. Kunzwa kuti vaparidze vhangeri rekuti vanhu vapone, vakukurudzira corruption muchechi. Is something that is very disappointing to pastors like Makandiwa.
Very disappointing, actually. But anyway, you know what? We stand by what we believe in. We stand firm in what we're doing, and we remain focused. And I just want to have maybe a few comments, if we can read a few comments before we go on to the next video. Jack Ngwenya says, I don't understand this Makandiwa for real. The pastors are too much. I know while they don't hear from God, why does he even talk about corruption? This is Jack Ngwenya. Also, saying what he believes, and he goes on to say, there is nothing like level of corruption, whether small or big. It's corruption as sin remains sin. Nothing like small or big. It's just sin. Yes, absolutely. That is the truth, Jack Ngwenya. Thank you so much for being with us and for your very informed comment there. But, going ahead, like I was saying, you know what, we have to stand firm in what we believe in, and we have to remain focused on the mission at hand, which is delivering Zimbabwe, the great new Zimbabwe. And in the hands, that same level of bringing the new great Zimbabwe, I think there's a video of President Chamisa where he's registering, encouraging people to register to vote. Can we see that video? And then, you know what, at least if people register to vote, people can be in a position to defend the country, to defend the nation, and also to bring about the new Zimbabwe, so that we are not exposed and we are not victims to these preachers or pastors or politicians, whatever they want to call themselves, who want to brainwash their congregants and many people by saying half corruption is better than full corruption. If we can have that video of President Chamisa encouraging people to vote.
Sadza munhu asingadi kunyoresa kuvhota kana ari baba nyimai, kana ari baba nyimai, munonyimaka nyimai sadza, nyimai vamwe ndokuziva mama kuda kunonyima vana baba mvura yekumwa sadza. Kwanzi kazina president kunyimei.
President avanzwe sometimes anditi.
President vanoshereketa. Asi chokwadi vana baba ngavanyimwe sadza kana
zvese sadza nemvura futi handiti. Nyika.
Tataura semamembers eWomen's Assembly kuti ana baba ngavanyimwe sadza zvese nemvura kana vasina kuvhota. But the message is there, it's a very serious situation that we find ourselves in, and this is a make or break time for Zimbabwe. So we must take it seriously. Saka kana munhu achinzi ngaanyimwe sadza, sure ngaanyimwe sadza, because ari kukanganisa upenyu hwemaZimbabweans ese, ari kuisa the future of all Zimbabweans in jeopardy by withholding that vote or by voting in the wrong place. So let us remember, this is very, very important. And let's just take this opportunity to remind all our viewers, please register to vote, go and vote, and defend the vote. If you don't have any information about how you can register to vote, the ZEC has a toll-free number. It is 08080219 that you can phone for free and find out where you can register to vote, what you can take when you go and register to vote, and what is needed when you go and register to vote. So the numbers are 08080219, or if you're an Econet or a Net1 subscriber, you just dial *265# on your phone and follow the instructions. So it's *265# on your phone and just follow the instructions. There's the information there on the bottom of the screen. Share it with as many people as you can, all your family members. Go and register to vote. Encourage them to register to vote. If they refuse, nyimai sadza. Right, but before we go, let's just talk about Honorable Sikhala. He went to court this last week again in an attempt to get bail, and he was denied bail again. Not surprising, because the regime is out to silence all voices of dissent. They want to thwart every voice and every activist who is speaking out against the cruel activities of the regime. So, the Nyatsime 17 case was brought to Parliament by the members of Parliament, the CCC Members of Parliament, who actually discussed it in a robust and very energetic way. And, they brought across that, it was an unfair treatment, an unfair application of justice that Honorable Sikhala and Honorable Sithole and the rest of the Nyatsime crew who are in custody and being denied bail for the murder of Mo Blessing Ali. But, interesting enough, or not interesting enough, sadly enough, the people who murdered Mo Blessing Ali are out there roaming. Some of them, no one really knows where they are, but they are not arrested. But the people whose houses were damaged, who were threatened by violence by Zanu PF, who were told to disperse from a funeral. I mean, who does that? Who goes and disperses people from a funeral and tells them not to attend a funeral? Those people are the ones who are victims, and yet they're the ones who are arrested. They're the ones who are being denied bail, and their families and children are suffering because while they're in prison, their children are scrounging to get food. Their children are no longer getting school fees. The children are not going to school, and most of them have been hunted by Zanu PF, and they're actually running for their lives because they can no longer stay and feel safe in the area where they were staying. So the perpetrators of violence, the people who killed Mo Blessing Ali, the people who are threatening the CCC members, the people who are threatening the normal members, the normal citizens of Nyatsime, are out there enjoying their freedom and actually getting rewarded by the cruel regime of Zanu PF. And yet the Nyatsime 17 are being denied bail. and their families are suffering for that. So these are things that we need to remember every time when they talk about register to vote. We need to vote out this system so that we can have a free and fair Zimbabwe for all Zimbabweans, no matter who you are. The judiciary that is captured, we really need an overhaul to this, because today is the Nyatsime 17, but tomorrow it's you. You will be standing before a captured judiciary. You will be in prison, and you will not be given bail for something that you have not done. And only then maybe will we understand that this is a serious situation and we need to do something about it. And we need to vote this illegitimate, illegal regime out and bring about a free and fair Zimbabwe, a new great Zimbabwe for all. Jack Ngwenya goes on to say, Apo manje pakunyimwa sadza mai we. Anyway, the message is there. Thanks, President. Isu vamwe takagadzirira and spreading to others surrounding us. Very good, Jack Ngwenya. You are unyimwi sadza. Right. But before we go, I think there's just one last piece of story that we want to share with you about the journalist who was attacked and at a Zanu PF meeting, and his equipment was confiscated, and he was forced to delete even his personal photos and personal information on his phones and recorders. So I'm just going to read a little bit here of this article. And it says Zimbabwean journalist Godwin Mangudya was yesterday allegedly assaulted by members of the Central Intelligence Organization, the CIO, and ruling Zanu PF activists in Harare's Kwazana suburb while covering the party's Central Committee elections. Mangudya alerted MISA Zimbabwe that he was assaulted by members of the ruling party and CIO, despite being formally identifying himself and producing his duly constitutionally accredited Zimbabwe Media Commission ZMC press card. So it says that the CIO agents and Zanu PF security personnel confiscated his mobile phones and reset the gadgets, leading to the journalist losing both his personal and work-related information. As journalists, I mean, what do you make of this, Leader Loveness?
Yeah, it's very sad. These people, these Zanu PF people, they try by all means to cover their tracks, and they are very evil. That's the highest level of evil people, vanhu veZanu PF, because kana vanga vasingadi kuti whatever zvanga mavideos and photos zvanga zvakeptwa naMangudya, they were not supposed to force him to delete even his personal information. Some of the information maybe you will never recover it. You never know. The problem ndeyekuti vanhu veZanu PF kana ukavaitisa nharo, maybe they were going to kill him or do something worse. So my journalist, I think around Zanu PF, we are not safe around Zanu PF. Let me give an example of Makandiwa in South Africa. At one of the hospitals in Johannesburg, it's like corruption. Our level of corruption in South Africa is going high bit by bit. At that hospital, there's always a long queue. So people were just coming, joining the queue. Some of the people were coming to jump the queue, and they were going to bribe the security guard. So around 3 p.m., can you please go back? We cannot serve you today because we are short-staffed. Then we're not going anywhere. We were seeing people coming in, jump a queue, so at that moment, I shot a video. One of the patients angari mu queue akabva atodonha akatanga kuita mafits. So I shot that video. I'm sure I have to give it to you just so you play next time. I shot that video yemunhu akaita mafits ari queue just because vakamuregerera vachitora vanhu vaivabhadhara mari. So the security forced me to delete the video. I told them I'm not going to delete this video. This is my phone. It's my right. No one is going to touch my phone. I just because I'm in South Africa. If I was in Zimbabwe, if it was those Zanu PF tags, I'm sure I was going to be, you were going to be telling another story about me. But the problem there is Zanu PF inoshandisa chisimba chisiricho. Vanoda kuedza nevanogona kuabuse each and every opportunity inenge ichiburitsa uori hwavo and so on. So Zanu PF must go. Please let me just make this clear. Please, citizens, go and register to vote. Go and vote and go and defend your vote. This thing must come to an end.
It definitely must come to an end. Absolutely, it must come to an end. And as you rightfully say, journalism is not a crime. And also being Zimbabwean is not a crime. You know, we are not at the mercy of Zanu PF. We must vote them out. And we have the power to vote them out, you know. So let us go and vote them out. Let us do the right thing. Let us do what we can. Let us go and vote them out. Unfortunately, you know what, we've spent our time, an hour has come and gone, but thank you so much to all our listeners and viewers for being with us. It has been a wonderful experience, a wonderful time that we spent with you. Our panelists, Leader Loveness, Leader Extella, Mambo Soshe, who was with us, and myself, Sophia Tekwani. It has been a pleasure interacting with you for the past hour. But stay tuned on Change Radio. There are a lot of informative and entertaining programs that are coming up. And also be with us again next week, same time, same place, where we'll be talking and join us as we talk about the topics that made the headlines on Change Radio News this coming week, next week. Thank you so much for being with us, Leader Loveness, Leader Estella, if you can say goodbye to the viewers. And thank you.
Thank you, viewers and listeners. Have an absolutely blessed week ahead. Looking forward to seeing you once again next week on our news review.
Thank you.
Leader Loveness.
Thank you very much. Let me thank you first, my fellow panelists, for being with us, for inviting us, in fact, to tell this whatever that has been happening through the past week. And I would like also to thank our viewers and listeners for sacrificing their time to be with us this time. So I would like to thank you for sacrificing that time. We expect to see you again next week on the same program, same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Tiri munguva yeshanduko nakanjiva Loveness Gotora kanjiva Lala goes Sunamay ah yes 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 sunamay ah yeah. Taura aye mvura ichanaya aye vadzimu vakataura aye mvura ichanaya aye mvura ichinaya aye gore richipera aye gore richipera aye gore richitanga aye gore richitanga aye vanhu vachivhota aye vanhu vachivhota aye tichipinda muyelo aye topinda muyelo topinda muyelo Shanduko mu Zimbabwe simuka Zimbabwe simuka, shanduko mu Zimbabwe, vaka Zimbabwe vaka, shanduko mu Zimbabwe, vota Zimbabwe vota. Mayuthi edu oye, vana mai oye, vana baba oye, vana sekuru na vana gogo, vana sekuru na vana gogo, inguva yeshanduko naika. Tsunami, tsunami, ah yes.